Good Saturday afternoon, everyone. I'm meteorologist J.D. Rudd here with this video blog for this Saturday about 15 minutes after 4 as we record this. I want to show you first off the rainfall reports from the official reporting sites on what has been a wet start to the weekend as expected. So far, many areas along and north of I-70 have picked up lesser amounts than those south of I-70. Again, I'll show you some unofficial reports in just a moment, but you can see here around 1.31 Knob Noster, about 1.25 inches in Olathe, and just under 3/4 of an inch for both KCI and downtown Kansas City. But more rain is still set to go later on tonight and into tomorrow. Let me show you the unofficial rain reports. This is from the radar estimates, and these may vary a little bit, but it looks like our southern tier of counties, boy, they saw perhaps the most rainfall as this loads up the newest bit of information here and zooms us in a little bit closer to those areas. Look, from Clinton to Butler, Pleasanton, Paola, Ottawa, Garnett. Boy, I tell you what, at least 2 inches of rain in this area or more for some. Those red dots that you see, that indicates around 3 to 4 inches of rainfall. But again, this is radar estimated. It may be a little bit overdone and in some cases underdone for some locales. So if you live anywhere in these areas and have a rain report to pass along, I would love to hear about it to make sure things are measuring up as they show here on these radar estimated rainfall reports. I want to share with you quickly just how it looked this morning in Kansas City. A time-lapse watching this rain work its way in. This was from 6 a.m. to about noon. The rain really picked up at around 7 to 8 o'clock as expected. Been saying the last couple of days to expect that rain in Metro in heaviness starting at around 7 o'clock or so on Saturday. That's what we saw with that rain coming in lasting through about the lunch hour. As you would expect, we do still have an active flash flood watch in place. This will go through the rest of the weekend, but all is not lost. I'll explain more on that in just a second. At about 4:15 or so today, a new severe thunderstorm watch was issued. You can see that for the counties here in blue, and that'll actually go until 11 o'clock tonight. That's until 11 o'clock Central Time tonight for that severe thunderstorm watch. As of right now, we're not expecting that to be nudged into our viewing area, but we will keep eyes on it. Let's take a look at Weather Track Radar. And again, if you're watching this video later on, this may be a little outdated, so please keep the time in mind from the recording of this video blog. You can see the rain that's worked its way through parts of Missouri and Kansas so far today, and now that new area of rain and thunderstorms getting going back there in portions of Kansas. Let's stop this loop. I want to go over, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to clean this up a little bit, some on-the-fly analysis of what's going on. Let's drop the satellite picture off there for now, and let's actually take the radar off of there too, as well as the watches and warnings. Let's configure this a little bit differently. I'm going to put the visible satellite on here real quick. There, this gives us a much better idea of what's going on. So you see the areas in through here that have got the sunshine. That's where you don't see cloud cover. This is right along where the warm front is right now. That warm front's kind of draped across this area. If I had to haphazardly draw that on there, let me get this ready to go. And this is just rough drawing. This is not actually doing any analysis, but it's roughly in that area. Right through there is where the warm front is at this point in time. So that warm front's going to try, as the evening goes on, to lift itself a little more north, and that's going to allow that opportunity for showers and thunderstorms to get going in this area, which would then try to blossom up and move more our direction. So it's not out of the question that later on tonight, some areas like our southern locales, perhaps maybe in this zone through here, experience a few showers and thunderstorms after about 8 to 10 o'clock or so this evening. We'll keep close eyes on that, of course, and keep you updated. To give you a kind of feel for how the forecast models play this out, because there's a few different scenarios, the models are not in complete agreement on this just yet. Let me show you first off our PowerCast, the RPM forecast model. This is what it thinks will be happening at 7 o'clock tonight. If we roll this through just a little bit more, this would be around 9, kind of lighting up rain and thunderstorms along that warm front right in through there. So perhaps we see a few stronger thunderstorms this evening after about 8 o'clock. Severe threat, I still think overall looks low, but never say never this time of year. So that's our next round of heavy rain coming in just after 10 or 11 o'clock. And then notice for those in our southeastern counties, like areas from Lee Summit to Harrisonville, Clinton, Sedalia, the PowerCast model putting some heavy rain for you between midnight and about 3 a.m. Are we done after that? No. PowerCast says another round of moderate to heavy rain comes in between 4 and 7 a.m. tomorrow, mainly along and south of I-70 before finally pushing its way off to the east. And then this is where the computer forecast model says by the afternoon, things turn nice. No more rain for the rest of the day on Sunday. Maybe a spotty shower and maybe a little area of drizzle in some locales. It even suggests, look at that, pockets of clear sky by tomorrow afternoon into the evening, so perhaps a little sunshine trying to peek through. But that is just one forecast model. Let's take a look at a different forecast model. This is the NAM model. I think I got this squared up in the screen correctly for you here so you could see it all. This is just the regular 12-kilometer version of the NAM. This is how it plays out the radar for the rest of the day today. This would be 7 o'clock tonight, which isn't a bad idea. That's 10 o'clock, which kind of matches what we saw on the RPM. There's midnight, showing heavy rain working its way across that I-70 corridor. 3 a.m., and then this is 7 a.m. tomorrow, and there you see, as expected on the RPM, another round of heavier rain right in through here. Oops, sorry about that. Let's go back. This is why I don't like using this site too much. It's a little touchy on mouse controls. In through here, this would show us about 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, that next round of rain and thunderstorms like I pointed out on the PowerCast model. Then there we go by 10 a.m. There's noon. There's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's by 7 o'clock tomorrow night. It's that same theme of getting the rain out of here, tapering off at least after about noon on Sunday. Let's take a peek at a higher resolution NAM model. This is the 4K NAM. It's got a very similar idea. Let's advance you forward. This would be 10 o'clock tonight. Now it is a little bit farther north with the heavier rain and thunderstorms. There's midnight, 3 a.m. That jives about what we've seen so far on the 12K NAM and the PowerCast. There's 7 a.m. tomorrow. There's 10. That's noon tomorrow, and then afternoon, it lights up some showers and thunderstorms just to our south and southeast as that system pushes its way out of here. And all the forecast models keep the bulk of Monday dry. Maybe a morning stray shower can't be ruled out, some leftover outflow boundary or something like that that we'll have to keep eyes on. Otherwise, all the consensus here is that Monday we dry out, we get a little sunshine back, and we start to warm up. How much rain could we see? That's the next big question. Let's go back here and look at the NAM and see what it suggests. This would be, let me advance you forward, this is by 7 a.m. on Sunday. There's 10. Let's go ahead and do total rain. How about that? Total accumulated rain to make this less confusing. So this takes into account now what already fell today if the forecast model was right, so some of these numbers would be skewed. This is by the end of the day on Sunday. Again, I think some of these numbers are skewed a bit, but it still suggests a total of around 4 inches in metro Kansas City, more along the lines of 9, 8 inches or so back towards Topeka, maybe around Lawrence or so, 4 inches for St. Joseph, and then it kind of robs some of our eastern counties in Missouri, saying only around 1.5 to 2.5 inches. But again, that's just the NAM forecast model. Let's go back in. Let's look at something completely different in terms of how much rain may fall. Let me get you back into this frame of mind. This here is the GFS forecast model. This is the latest thinking from the GFS. Notice it puts that yellow, that 3 to 5 of rain right through Kansas City, down to Paola, down to Butler, over toward Warrensburg, up towards Sedalia. So it thinks we got another 3 to 5 inches of rain coming our way. This is what the European model thinks we have going on. The Euro tries to put more of that rain north. We saw that trend on Friday with the Euro suggesting a lot of the rain goes farther north. The Euro may be off on this one. Here is another forecast model. This is the RPM. This is based on the latest forecast run of the RPM, aka the PowerCast. Notice how it puts the heavier rain south of I-70 still, just south of Sedalia, trying to target over 8 inches there. Meanwhile, this orange color is 5 to 8 inches of rainfall total by 7 a.m. on Monday. One more computer forecast run. This is the 4K higher resolution version of the PowerCast or RPM forecast model. Same sort of idea, not as robust with those reds. Maybe about the same, you could argue, I suppose, in a couple of areas. Either way, the takeaway here, I think if you step back through this, like I said the other day, you're looking at least another 1.5 to perhaps 3 inches of rain across the metro Kansas City area. There could be some areas that see another 3 to 4 inches of rainfall when it's all said and done. So with all that in mind, this is kind of the latest thinking that I have. This is still a weather alert weekend. Don't forget about that. If you're camping, know somebody who is, or somebody who's trying to do anything with the fireworks or anything else, be prepared for more rounds of rain tonight through Sunday evening across the viewing area, not just in Kansas City. Keep that in mind. If you're in Metro KC, I think the rain kind of tapers off after about the lunch hour on Sunday. We could see anywhere from another 1 to 3 inches with some locally higher amounts possible, which may still lead to flooding of rivers, roads, basements, etc. If you have any storm photos and can safely do so, send those to us. Even photos showing your rain gauge or how much rain you've had at your place, those would be very helpful for us as well, and I'd greatly appreciate them. Before I close out the blog, a couple other things to share with you. If you wanted to try to light off fireworks, is tonight a good night? No, it's likely a rain out for fireworks tonight. I'm sorry, but tomorrow night, looking a lot better for many areas. I'm not going to completely say it's a perfect chance for fireworks. It may still be muddy in some areas. Some crews may just say, no, they're not going to do it and hold off till Monday night. That would be the best case because Monday looks pretty good for setting off fireworks. So again, it's going to be a wet weekend. We've got more rain coming for tonight. Let's go back and visit that radar picture again. And again, there's the severe weather chance going on in portions of southern Kansas as well. But more rain coming in. This is just the beginning. It's only about 4:30 or so on Saturday. Stay with us. We only have a 5 o'clock and a 10 o'clock newscast. I will try to send out updates if and when they are needed on social media. Otherwise, we'll be back with coverage later on tonight. And, of course, more coverage tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon on our 41 Action News station. So thank you for watching the blog. Try to stay dry. And, of course, happy 4th of July weekend to you.